Episode 7, we are here. So, last episode, I was talking about a fundraiser, Quincy's Pals, with Dale Jones. I went to it. I'll add pictures now. It wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to play out. It was Jeremiah Martin, which he was the host, and Andrew Rudick. He was the feature. Both of them are good comedians. Dale is a fantastic, he's on my top 5. He's a fantastic comedian. So no matter what situation you put him in or crowd you put him in front of, he's going to be able to take everyone's attention no matter what. So my only gripe is honestly the entire show. Like, it played out well, and I hope they earned a lot of money for the Humane Society. But like, there's a way to do it, and brother, that was not it. I wasn't even working. So I showed up just pure leisure, hanging out, chilling, not doing a damn thing. Just basically just watching to see how the show worked. They even had like their own posse of volunteers from the Humane Society that like they can only do so much because if they do too much, they're getting in our way. But if they do too little, then everything's gonna go to shit, and then people are gonna be mad because they missed out on the opportunity to win a raffle for a fundraiser. So it was a fine line of like they got to stay out of the employees' way at the comedy club, but they also still have to make sure they give a ticket to everybody for a raffle because it was not what I was expecting. I was expecting you walk in and there's a bunch of different like baskets and stuff, and you go and you write down your name, and basically it's just like a silent auction. But the way I understood it was you walk in and there's a table, and then you could just buy a bunch of raffle tickets. And as you walk in, the volunteers gave you the raffle. And then we were basically just like, look, what company do you work for? Because usually whenever you buy a ticket from us, it gets our we get your last name, and then we pre-assign you to a seat before the show starts, so it's just easier. And like if there's a group of 5, that means that group of 5 can sit together rather than you coming in late and then there not being 5 seats together and you're like, oh, we can't sit together. So we can do that in advance. But whenever you're in these types of situations, man, you have a group of 12 that are coming from some office job, and Susan that's coming, she has no idea that like maybe Meredith bought the tickets. No, it's under the corporation's, like whatever the company's name. So that was pretty much just a bunch of like getting names of who do you work for. All right, they're going in that general area. Just show them. Hopefully they see their group, because the floor was set as if it was a sold out show, which blew my mind. Like I walked in and if I wanted to sit down, there was only a few places. Now, like the rail, I'm pretty sure was straight for me to sit. But other than that, it looked like a packed room. And another thing I'd change is, dude, I understand you gotta have food. No matter how you do it, it's gonna bite us, the comedy club, in the end. Cause they had popcorn, and man, I didn't. Like I said, I was off. I was chilling. I didn't eat. I didn't even eat any of it, but I didn't have to clean it up as well. It looked like a bitch. There was popcorn everywhere. But they had some radio hosts come out. And it kind of sucks that I don't really know any of the local, like, I guess they are just, I don't want to say just. That sounds fucked up. Because I still don't remember his name, which, again, it sounds bad, but, like, I know he played, him and his band played as everyone walked in, which that's pretty cool. Other than the fact that you can't hear anything whenever you're seating people in the lobby because there's a whole ass band just playing right there with the door open. But I didn't show up for that, so I didn't get to experience how hard it was for the seater's job. And keep in mind, every type of like review I'm going to be giving from this, the Cobb review, it's going to be a perspective of both. Like, because I love comedy. I really love comedy. But at the same time, I've worked a lot of shows. I've worked enough shows for it to start breaking down the wall, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm getting not tired of comedy, but I'm not tired of comedy. Like, if there's a certain comedian that pulls through and they're like low key a hack, but the crowd's still eating out of their hand because they follow on TikTok, I want to shoot myself. It's so I'm at that stage. So any show I'm watching, if it's good, I can appreciate it. No matter what, I can be like, oh, okay, he's a good comic, or this is an entertaining show. So I'm gonna be completely honest with my reviews. Now, there's gonna be some biasness, but Dale, at this point, this is a good bias because, dude, again, this weekend, every single fucking show, man. If I watched it, I couldn't like I could not watch it and not laugh. Like if I was just sitting there watching and trying to focus on the crowd because this crowd was this is the first time we've seen a Dale sold out show. So I'm fucking happy for him, you know what I'm saying? Wait. Oh, damn it. I thought it'd work. Damn. Hey, whoa, I don't know what the fuck that was, but that is crazy. Damn, I'm gonna look stupid trying to do it again. But yeah, that was not what I was going for. I was going for the thumbs up, but I guess that's not gonna work either. I don't know how to work this shit. Connor was talking about it, and I can't remember what he said, but anyways, it was the first sold out Dale show. He killed every single one of them, like he usually does. He was absolutely hilarious. I'm gonna bring back the rating again. I don't know if I did a cob review last episode. Hopefully, I did. I rated it, but this is one of the few that I'm gonna give 5 out of 5, 100%. It's I cannot recommend it enough. My mom and stepdad came. Brandon and his girl came. Like I'm trying to get as many people as I can. It is the best show that I can recommend. The only person above that is Ian Bagg, and he's coming soon. So like I don't know if all of his shows are sold out, but if not, you gotta hop on that. Yeah, man, his shows are so funny as well. But Dale absolutely killed it. 5 out of 5. Jeremiah and Andrew both killed it as well. So it was one hell of a weekend. The Quincy's Pals, it ended up being good because Dale can captivate anyone's attention. But overall, it was a little chaotic just from my perspective and seeing like the employees running around. But it looked like it was still a success. Everyone left happy. It worked out either way. Okay. So this is I have to do this. Just from all the shit I've talked, I have to do this. Drake's album. Some sexy songs for you. It came out and at first I didn't know how to feel because I was like, yeah, this is the polar opposite of music I prefer to listen to. But then I was like, there's some songs that actually okay. It's not just like some sexy songs for you vibes. It's like he's shooting shots. So I did the same thing I do for every album, and whenever I did on the first run through, I'm not gonna lie, I was shitting on Drake. He hasn't moved necessarily, like up or down on any of my ranks from this because I understood what this was. This is going to his name was on it, which blew my mind. Because if you didn't know, he's got one album like under contract that's due left, and everyone was like, "Well, is he gonna use this for his last album to get out of his contract?" And Act was saying he wasn't, and that his name wasn't gonna be on it. But then, whenever it dropped, even Act was under every album it has who it's published by and all the partners. So it was by UMG overall. Like they were partners with it. But Sony, he's still going to do another album, supposedly. Which that if he fumbles the bag on that one, then I'll start to look towards like okay, I'm gonna start putting Lil Dicky up there or no, but I'm saying all this because The numbers, like how I go through every time, like, neutral, dislike. There's 7 likes, 5 are neutral, and 9 dislikes. So that's just the first going through. And then it's been a couple days at this point, and I've listened to a few of them, and I like 3 of them, but like three, you know what I'm saying? Number one, Give Me a Hug, of course. That's the one that like Kanye popped out, and first of all, Kanye's back on Twitter. What? Okay. He said I'm gonna log off, and I thought he was about to get killed, and then he was like, "Ah, psych, I'm an addicted. I can't go a day without just posting my feelings." So he posted a tweet saying, "Give me a hug's fire," and I was like, "Oh, that's wild. What side are you on, dude?" At least he can appreciate good music, but everyone's talking about "Give Me a Hug" because he's shooting shots. It's also just a fire fucking song. The beat, the hook, all of it is it's fire. The other one's a Nokia, and I don't know if I disliked Nokia at first. No, yeah, I liked it at first. I said just because it's catchy, but it feels like this is him trying to make a dance song. And that was my first thought of it. But now that I've listened to it a bunch, so cute fire. The other one that got me weak, let me see if I was neutral about it, was Die Trying. Bro tried to make a fucking a Taylor Swift song. I was like, that's crazy. But a lot of these I just didn't like. I was like, man, it's not my vibe. But also, keep in mind, this is coming from a single white 24-year-old male. So your boy's not in the vibe to go listen to some love songs. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get lit to like rap, not fucking songs that are gonna be like, damn, yeah, this should be getting me in my feels. Song number 17, bro. It's called Celibacy. He used that song to literally say they're not like us. I was like, that's so corny. Why would you do that? This is like that is not like a funny thing or you getting one up on them. That's especially because you said it they're not. It's like you changed it a little bit too. So it's like we know what you're doing. And then 19, Glorious. I was like, he has a whole ass love song for Ice Spice. Like last time it was Sexy Red, now it's Ice Spice. It's getting the choices are. I mean, like she's not ugly. Like she's Ice Spice is pretty and all that. She's cute, but dog, I can only imagine that you didn't clear it with her. I would assume you have to get the samples of her talking in like the background and stuff. Unless that's a news interview, then you might not have to. Because I feel like Drake is the type of dude to not say anything to her and just release it, and then her figure out and be like, "Oh shit, what? Okay, you gotta meet your padre." This is a Spanish song. I was like, "Dog, are you you trying to go in Bad Bunny's lane or something?" Unless he's trying to get another feature bomb. 'Cause I'm pretty sure they've already gotten one, if not a few. But yeah, it blew my mind whenever I disliked more than I liked on the first listen. I just tried to go through and listen again to the ones I disliked and what I was neutral with. I made a change, but now the likes, neutrals, and dislikes are even more wacky. So it's 777. I like 7 songs, I'm neutral on 7, and I dislike 7. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, there are 21 songs. And the one I changed was Brian Steele. I had that as dislike. And that was just because, bro, why is it so short? What are you doing? It's like a minute and 52 seconds. Dog. That's just like, hey, here's a little snippet. I kept Demi's Dilemma because I was like fucking in a mood. Let's see. There was one that I was. This one I have for like because I mean I like the song. It just has it's so funny to me. Lasers. Drake can't sound tough. Every time he tries to sound tough, it's just like, come on, man. Come on. Say something different. You're embarrassing yourself. And again, like I've said multiple times. I'm giving just my honest opinion on all of these songs because, like, I don't go to music and I'm like, oh yeah, let me get a love song. Let's cue this up. No, that's the furthest thing from what I listen to. So it just so happened that it's Drake and Party that released this album. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it a listen. And he was talking shit on a little more songs. Like he's talked a little shit on Brian Steele. Give Me a Hug. I think Nokia. And there's one more. Maybe Lasers, but I don't know. So overall, I guess now with the changes, which is crazy, it's like overall, is it just neutral? It's 777. That's crazy. But that's that's how it be whenever you make a love hip hop album, release it on Valentine's Day. That's gonna be a certain amount of people that can't relate to it because your boy's single. So such is life. One crazy thing is, so the person who taught me how to do this was Kanye on Instagram, like some years ago. If you are on Apple Music, they low key try to hide the actual Apple Music like top songs because they have the trending down here, but like the trending isn't necessarily what the top songs are. This is just what Apple says is currently trending at the moment. If you go to the very bottom, there's a charts, and then press top songs. That's those are that. So I mean, like at this very moment, this man, bro, this man Peyton texted me. This is what it's like being friends with Peyton. Texted me, where you at? That's how we started the conversation. From not talking to him for multiple days. What the hell? He said, where you at? I said, making the pot at the crib. What's up? Doesn't reply for about 20 minutes. I'm at your speedway right now, which is the one down the road. Also, had to handle this dude in there. All right, so we'll see if he's coming. I don't know if he's on the way or not. Probably not. So, the top songs on Apple Music, his entire album is up there, up until 26. And the only songs, it's, if you're any other artist right now, this must suck for dropping music. It's Drake number one, number two, Luther for Kendrick Lamar, three, Not Like Us, four, well, 4 through 11 are Drake. 12, 30 for 30 for SZA and Kendrick. 13, 14, Drake. 15, Kendrick TV off. 16 through 19 is Drake. 20, Squabble Up. 21, Celibacy. 22, All the Stars, Kendrick Lamar. 23 through 26 are Drake. And then 27, you got Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. And then one, two. The next two are Drake and Kendrick. And then you got some other people. Okay. So up until, gosh, that's insane, dude. 1 through 26, it's, other than one SZA, it's all Drake and Kendrick. Like, whew. And I don't know Spotify, but I can only assume it's the exact opposite. And it's all Kendrick, and then the the breaks are Drake. I don't know why they try to hide the like actual top listened to songs, and they replaced it with trending, but it's a little weird. Like again with Fetty Wap, why is that on trending? What are you talking about? It's not even like, and it's She Will with Lil Wayne and Drake. That's such a weird song to have up on trending. So overall, that's my opinion on it. I'm gonna be honest about Drake's music because, I mean, why not? I got no ties towards anybody. If you release bad music, then I'm gonna talk about bad music. It's more of like a, now if he releases this next album and it's the type of music that I listen to and it's still a bunch of duds, like I said before, might have to do some arranging. But Kendrick, I don't know if Kendrick's gonna be up there because I can't relate to Kendrick either. So that's the if I can relate to it, or if I just like bob my head or dance to it, then we're chilling. But other than that, I mean, and I'm glad he only had one interlude. That he could have had so many just like women talking because it's a love album. So I was happy for that. But overall, I liked seven. I was neutral on seven, and I dislike seven. So I don't know what that means, but seven, seven, seven. That's ironically enough, that's the score. And I totally forgot to mention this, but for the Quincy's pals, whenever I pulled up, like I said, I wasn't working, but there was still a certain amount that they were expected to show up, and I don't know if just some was canceled or whatever, but they had gift bags left over at the very end, and they're like, "Hey, you want one?" And I was like, "Oh shit," because they had like a dog treat in there for Toby, so I gave him that. They had a cup. I was like, "Oh shit, okay, look at y'all." They had some stickers too. I was like, "Damn, y'all came prepared." Whole gift bags and everything. So I was hyped about that. But I just had to throw that in because I totally forgot about that. Okay, and speaking of reviewing and being honest, man, yesterday I went and saw the new Captain America Brave New World. And there's gonna be some spoilers in this, so I'll have the time right here in case if you want to skip straight to that because I'm just gonna lay it all on the table. And it'll probably come to Disney Plus in like a few months in case you want to watch it. So, first and foremost, I just want to say this. I got a Christmas gift, which was a gift card for a Cinemark movie theater. It was $50 on it. And I was like, okay, I'm either gonna use this one time as a like, I'm gonna go all out and fucking, spoil myself for a ticket. Because if I go see movies, like I said earlier, I'm single, dog. I go by myself to see movies. And with the Marvel movie, I would prefer to go by myself because there's so much that's going to be happening. And I'm actually invested in this shit. Like, if there's a bunch of Marvel shit over here, I'm actually invested. So, whenever it comes to watching the movies, I can't get. I just realized none of the Marvel stuff's over there. That's hilarious. It's all right there. But I can't get, too distracted because then I'm gonna miss fucking Serena Williams 2 second dancing in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna miss something like that. So whenever it comes to Captain America, though, I don't really fuck with the movies because it's not that I dislike them, but they're just boring to me. The storyline, all of it just it's kind of played out. But now what they're doing currently is they've gotten Anthony Mackie as the new Captain America, which he used to be Falcon, and then now Cap, he didn't die. You haven't seen a body, so he's technically not dead, I guess. But we've last seen him as the old man Captain America. So with Anthony Mackie taking the new mantle, they kind of just threw him in as the only superhero remaining that we have, so we can use him as the title. And technically, we did the story with Bucky and Captain America. He gave the position up, so he technically is Captain America. Bucky's going for a congressman, like he's got potentially working to be a president one day. So that's his arc. We need someone that we can fill in this placeholder of a movie title so we can really make a side Hulk jab because they can't make Hulk movies. They can't make a movie with Hulk in the title. They can have him as a side character, which is why you see a bunch of random arcs pop up like fucking the TV show with the She-Hulk. They had his kid pull up Scar, and then you see Thor Ragnarok. It's like half Hulk, but like he can't be they can't use him in the title, which is such a it's like a disadvantage for both of them because they're wasting out on so much money not being able to make a Hulk movie. Because the whole thing about this was Harrison Ford turning into Red Hulk. That it only happens at the very end, and it's very disappointing because whenever he does, he fights Anthony Mackie. as like Captain America. And you're like, this is he even had, like acknowledges the fact that listen, we know you can tear right through me because Anthony Mackie doesn't have any like super soldier serum or anything like that. He just has a cool ass Wakandan suit. And they added some new people in, like what's his name? Danny Ramirez is gonna be the new Falcon apparently in the upcoming New Avengers. They're hinting at building a New Avengers. Now keep in mind, what's around the corner is Fantastic Four, and that's like the new wave of mutants. And they kind of just brought another mutant in because they brought in the leader, which was what's his name? Tim Blake Nelson. I had to look that shit up. But they brought the leader in, which was cool. But it's just another thing for a Hulk arc they can't finish until Sony's like, okay, fine, we'll do a duo movie and we'll both split the bread. Because it's going to cost a lot of money to make, but it's going to bring in so much money. They they use tie-ins from the last Incredible Hulk, where at that point they've changed the general and they've changed the president, they've changed the Hulk himself. You know who they kept the same? The daughter. You're like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Like I was saying before I got on a rant on how the actual movie was. I can't complain because I got a gift card for Cinemark, and instead of like using it as like I'm gonna buy a ticket and then buy the food and drinks with my actual money, I just went all out and spoiled myself for this one movie and used like half of the gift card. So I bought the ticket for the 3DX fucking whatever, the one that has like the 5 descriptors where it's like boom 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 boom. You don't even know what half of them are, but it looks real crazy. I picked that one. I saw it at like 1 p.m. so it wasn't fat, which was a plus. You can order food and they deliver it to your seat. Blew my mind. Stack that up. So I was sitting happy by myself, vaping, eating, had all the food I want, had snacks, drinks. I was chilling. The movie itself, man, it wasn't a bad movie. I just knew like a bunch of this wasn't going anywhere. And they were closing some doors that they had left open, like characters from the TV shows back whenever they did the Super Soldier. I can't remember what it was called, but the one where they Captain America gave up the mantle. But all in all, man, I would not pay my actual money to go and see that movie. I got it free for a gift card, so I couldn't complain. It was a good experience. But the movie itself, I would rather have watched on my TV at home. Because, like, it was just so boring and anticlimactic whenever the trailer's hyping up Red Hulk. They even do, like, almost like a Red Hulk where he squeezes a pipe, like, 20 minutes before he actually turns to Red Hulk. And then by that point, you're like, well, fucking, he better turn to Red Hulk because there's, like, 6 minutes left in the movie. And then he finally does. He gets in a fight and he gets talked to calm down by Anthony Mackie. It's like, dog, what the fuck? But all in all, I liked the experience. I would have to watch it again on the TV, like on Disney Plus, to see if I actually liked the movie. Because if I do it, I feel like I'm going to give an honest review and be like, nah, I didn't really like the movie itself. Alright, so this next segment is a new one. It's called Benched Opinions. And it's called that because I'm going to talk about sports, but I'm the least likely person to talk about sports in it. 1, makes sense. 2, be a reasonable take. And 3, be up to date. Because I'm always late watching stuff. I'm not up to date on the sports politics that's happening. Like, I had to learn about the Luka trade to talk about it. And 3, I really don't feel like I have the most popular opinions towards just sports in general. But I have been talking about wanting to get back into sports. Like this year, well, not this year, but whenever NBA starts up again, I'm gonna try to watch NBA. I'm going to do fantasy football, and I'm gonna watch NFL. I don't know about baseball. I think that's the one that starts the soonest, but that's a whole different category. Cause well, now they've changed the shot clock timer. I'm pretty sure. Not see that's how much I know about sports, dog. It's I've been stepped away from it for so many years now. It's crazy. But they've not the shot clock timer, but the equivalent to that in baseball. They've added a timer to make it go by quicker. Which, hey, that's that's how you got to do it. You got to make it go by at least somewhat fast, so it's not just boring and dragging out the entire game and people leave. But baseball, I can go to the Cincinnati Reds like easily. So for benched opinions, I am going to talk about the NBA All-Star game, the celebrity game, the dunk contest, the whole shebang. Because I had to go and I say have to, and it sounds negative. I was able to because it's all on YouTube. I watched the highlights for everything. The both of the like the All Star games. It was four teams. It was Kenny versus Chuck, and Chuck won that one. And then it was Shaq versus Candace, which is Candace Parker, I believe, and Shaq won that one. Kevin was the host of it, Kevin Hart, and dog, he is so funny in any role. It is insane. Like there was just an entire video for Kevin Hart highlights, and that was hilarious alone. He had a bit where he gave everybody fishing gear and being like it's over and going fishing, and that was hilarious. Oh, during the I didn't even mention this for the games, the Kenny versus Chuck game, dog, the alley oops were insane for that one. And then the Shaq versus Candace game, Steph pulled the half court shot just to flex on him, and I was like, okay, yeah, that was uncalled for, but I respect it. And then Kevin got the SVP, Somewhat Valuable Player Award, and I thought that was pretty. I'm curious if they're gonna keep that going throughout the years. They're gonna be like, oh, here's the Kevin Hart edition SVP award goes to, and it goes like the host or something. That'd be funny. And then the reason why I got interested in this was the celebrity game. Because months ago, I was watching Kai Cenat do the marathon with, well, the subathon, and then he had the sleepover with Kevin and Drewski. They were talking about how Kevin was going to host it, and they wanted Drewski and himself, Kai, to be the like the captains for the team, and they wanted to play as well, but they also wanted to be the captains. So I'm assuming they got Barry Bonds and Jerry Jones because they weren't playing. So because I don't think Kai and Drewski would have been able to actually be the captain and play at the same time. So, but they placed opposite teams, which they had to. They could be on the same team. The first shot that Kai made, he celebrated so much. It was so funny. I was like, oh, geez, dog, you're embarrassing yourself. But that is him. That is the definition of him. And he's gonna go live, and he's gonna show that clip, and he's gonna be flexing. He's about to be so hyped. He's gonna play the little soundboard and start dancing. And then I guess he was already on cloud nine, so he went to go take another shot. It was like a three. As soon as he shot it, he ran straight for the rebound, looking up. Didn't realize, tripped over a teammate's foot. Did like a spin breakdance move to get back up, and the teammate inevitably got the rebound and made it. But I was like, that is the definition of who this dude is. That is so funny. But team Barry Bonds won, so Kai and them won. And then the dunk contest, man, it was Mac McClung. I don't even know what the last name is, Mick something, but Mac is the first name, and I'm confused what they allow you to do. Are, is it more of like a you come up with it in your head and then you just tell them and practice it and then you're like, this is what I'm doing, or do they give ideas and then the person gets is pick one like a because the car, who can anybody just be like, all right, I'm gonna try to jump over a car? Because Mac jumped over a car and cleared it. Well, his foot hit it, but apparently, whenever the judges were talking about it, that was more of like, yo, his foot hit it. That's crazy, and he still landed it. So I guess that's a good thing. But all of his, I don't want to say all of them. One of them, the middle one, I think is what it was. It was pretty. It's like okay, yeah, it's cool. It's insane to do, but compared to the first and third one, because the third one was the tall ass dude, and they were like, no, 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 let's get this random ass black block. Let's just make him a few inches taller. It's crazy. But there was some duds that also happened, and it was a little awkward. Because it shows the crowd's reaction instantly after. It's like, ooh, don't do that. At least give them a second to brief and like prepare themselves for camera. Because you see Steph Curry like give a genuine like, oh, and that's not good. But that's all. That's the stuff that I watched: the dunk contest, celebrity game, and All Star highlight game. Well, All Star game highlights, I should say. But I might watch more of the, I don't know, in-depth videos later on. That was enough to pique my interest. Alright, so I'm going to end the episode like I always do with a shout out to a real one. And this one is for, dude, Molly. She told me, well, I guess she showed me her on Spotify. It said Perplexed N.A.P at the top. And I was like, oh shit, okay. You're a real one, I see you. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can also watch the video on Spotify. So that's up to you. Shout out to Molly, dude. She also drew this, which I've used for plenty of designs, just like on Photoshop and stuff for like a reference. Plus, she's like the goofiest employee there is at the comedy club. If not the entire like comedy club, at least the waitress is 100%. She's so funny, but yet it's like she's low key an evil mastermind. It's like, what are you up to? Like, she has us do stuff that benefit her and solely her. We don't know what the motive is. We still do it unknowingly, but then it turns out it's like, yo, what the fuck did we just do? And then she'll just like laugh, never give any motives. Like, for example, when she told me not, because I told her, I was like, all right, well, bet. Now that I know you listen, I'm gonna give you a shout out. And the one thing she said, she said, well, okay, don't tell him about the time. And, well, I gotta tell you now. So, the comedy club has Christmas parties. And, man, Christmas parties are either super lit or they're a dud. And it can go either way. Depends on how the year was leading up to it. And the year that this happened, I would say it was a fun Christmas party for the most part. But Molly, with her mastermind ways of just before the Christmas party throwing the idea out there, and then the day of she brings it back up, but she sets the chairs up. She got all of us to sit down in chairs, and there was a bunch of us. She got the crew, the entire staff almost. I'm pretty sure everyone that was in the building sit down in like 2 rows, which there's like, who knows, probably in a row. There's probably like 10 of us, I'd say. And this is the crazy part. Remember, earlier I said we don't know the motives. We don't know why she does these things. But she randomly does them. She went around and smelt all of our heads. The person smelling was supposed to be blindfolded. And it was supposed to be everybody goes around and tries to guess who's who by the scent. Like, it sounds insane, but this is what, it was her idea, and she started to do it. And as we were doing it, it started to get less and less like, oh, okay, yeah, we're not doing this. Nope, we're not doing it. And then in the end, it was more of like a, wait, why'd you want us to do this? And then she was just like, for my own research. So that's just one example. And it's wild to end that story and then say, shout out to her. But I am, because shout out to Molly. She's for sure a real one. And that's it for episode 7. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in 8.